How can you treat hormonal imbalance naturally? This is the question that a lot of women keep asking every now and then. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about what is hormonal imbalance, what causes hormonal imbalance, and the natural ways you can treat hormonal imbalance. So if you are seeing this first for the first time, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because these are the kind of videos I do every day. I explain to you everything about your health, how to take care of your health, how to stay healthy. And don't forget to also watch this video to the end so you can get all the amazing information I have for you about the natural ways to treat hormonal imbalance. So let's start with what are hormones. Most of you might have been hearing hormonal imbalance, but you don't know what is hormonal imbalance. Some of you don't even know how hormonal imbalance looks like. When it affects you, don't know how it looks like. Now in this video, I'll also be explaining to you what are hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalance is a condition that happens when your body produces too much hormone, or it produces less hormone, or it produces a hormone when it's not supposed to produce. That's what we term hormonal imbalance. Some people will be asking questions like, what are hormones? Now, hormones are those chemicals in your body that controls your activities like reproduction, your menstrual cycle, your ovulation, your mood, your digestion, and so many things in your body. So once these chemicals are not in the proper order they are supposed to be, that's when we term you to be having hormonal imbalance. And that's why women be having irregular menses, painful menstruation, heavy flow. They will be having absence of ovulation. They are trying to get pregnant, but they are unable to get pregnant. They'll be having mood swing, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and so many of them, all because of hormonal imbalance. But we're going to be looking at the natural ways you can treat hormonal imbalance. Now let's move into how to know you are having hormonal imbalance. As a matter of fact, millions of women are having hormonal imbalance, but they don't even know how to check themselves to know they are having hormonal imbalance. Most people only know they are having hormonal imbalance when their menses is irregular, when they're unable to get pregnant, and they'll be wondering if this condition have not been in them. Some people might have hormonal imbalance and not have all these symptoms, but they are still having hormonal imbalance because there are other symptoms you might notice in your body to show you are having hormonal imbalance, and that's what we are going to be discussing in this particular video. Now, one of the major ways you will know you are having hormonal imbalance is if you are having unexplained mood swing. As a woman, you don't want people to come close to you. You just want to be alone. You are irritated by the presence of people. It is called hormonal imbalance because hormones are the things that controls your mood. The second way you can know you are having hormonal imbalance is if you're always having irregular menses. Your menses keep changing dates. It normally used to be 28 days cycle, and all of a sudden it's now 30 day cycle, 40 day cycle. Sometimes you miss your cycle, you don't even see it for 2 months, 3 months, and you'll be wondering what's the problem. It's not any other problem than hormonal imbalance. For some women, you might be having dryness. Your vagina is always dry, it's not always wet. You are having low libido. When a man is close to you, you don't even feel like having sex, and you'll be thinking you are self-controlled. It's not because you are self-controlled, it's because you are having hormonal imbalance, because the body have been programmed to always be in the mood when you are close to a man, to always have this increase in your sex hormone. But once you are not experiencing this, you should know you are having hormonal imbalance. For some women, you might also experience inability to eat. You'll be unable to eat. You'll be having low interest to eat. You'll be having low appetite, and you'll be wondering what's the problem. It's because you're having hormonal imbalance, because hormones are also the things that contribute to your appetite. They are the things that make you to be able to eat, to feel like eating. For some people, you might experience bloating. You might experience diarrhea. You might experience headache as a woman when you're having hormonal imbalance. If you're always experiencing recurring bloating in your stomach, you keep farting, you'll be noticing some kind of bloating in your abdomen, you should know you are having hormonal imbalance, and you can treat this as soon as possible, because we are going to be discussing the natural ways to stop all of these by the end of this video. As a woman, you might notice breast milk coming out from your nipple when you are not pregnant, you are not breastfeeding a baby, you are not married, and all of a sudden you touch your breast and you notice breast milk dropping from your nipples, and you'll be wondering what's happening. It's because you're having hormonal imbalance. For some women, you might also experience unexplained weight gain. You just start getting fat, you start getting big, and you'll be wondering what's happening. It's not because you're eating well. It's not because your body is changing. It's because you are having hormonal imbalance. Now, for some women, you might experience inability to ovulate. During the days you're ovulating, the 14th day before your next flow, you don't notice the signs of ovulation. You don't notice the discharge that looks stretchy, egg white, transparent. You don't notice pains in your nipple. You don't notice lower abdominal pain. You don't notice a kind of change in your body temperature. It means you are not ovulating, and this can happen due to hormonal imbalance. For some women, you might experience hair loss. Your hair will be pulling, your hair will be breaking, and sometimes you might even experience night sweatness. In the night, you'll be feeling hot in your body, you'll be feeling hot within your system. And the last one that most women will always experience is absence of menses. You think you are pregnant, but you're not pregnant. You go for test, you see you're not pregnant, and you'll be wondering what's happening. It's because you're having hormonal imbalance, because hormones are the things that control your menstrual cycle. So once they're imbalanced, you will be experiencing skipped menses. After 2 months, you'll not notice your menses. You'll not see your menses for 3 months, 4 months, and you'll be thinking you're pregnant. You'll be thinking you're having cryptic pregnancy. It's not pregnancy. It's mostly due to hormonal imbalance. Now, let's look at the main things that causes hormonal imbalance to women before we now talk about the natural ways to treat these conditions as a woman. Now, one of the major things that is always causing hormonal imbalance to women is abuse of sports pills, the regular use of post pills. Now, you should understand that post pills are the medications that women take immediately after sex to prevent themselves from getting pregnant. And these medications you are taking are made up of hormones. They are hormonal medications, which means they do causes changes in your hormonal settings in your body when you take them, and that's why you will not get pregnant. Now, as a woman, when you keep taking this every now and then, you take it the first week, the second week, the third week, in a month you are taking post pills for more than 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, even 10 times, you should know your hormonal settings will be changed, and in that case you are at risk of having hormonal imbalance. The second thing that makes a lot of women to have hormonal imbalance is lack of adequate nutrients. You don't eat vegetables, you don't eat fruit, and you'll be wondering why you're having hormonal imbalance. You should understand that these hormones are made from the food you eat, and one of the major foods hormones are being made from in your body is fruits and vegetables. So when you are not always taking vegetables, you should know you'll be having hormonal imbalance. Your body might not produce enough hormones as it should. The third major cause of hormonal imbalance to women is lack of sleep and rest. When you're not always resting, you should know you might be at risk of having high cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that can disrupt the production of other hormones. And as a woman, you need to sleep at least 7 to 9 hours a day, because once you sleep regular, you sleep as often as it should be, you are going to have a low risk of developing high cortisol, because this cortisol is the hormone that happens to be produced when you are stressed, when you are tired, when you have not slept, and in that case you might have a disruption in the natural hormones your body is supposed to be produced. So as a woman, always sleep at least 7 to 9 hours a day to be able to make sure that hormone is being reduced to a level it should be. Now, the fourth cause of hormonal imbalance to so many women that a lot of women don't even know and they might not be aware of is the disorder of your pituitary gland and your thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is a gland that is located at the throat, and the pituitary gland is a gland that is located at your brain. Now, once these glands are disrupted, they are having a disorder, you might have hormonal imbalance, because these glands are the major glands that controls the production of the hormones that are responsible for controlling your menses, your ovulation, your pregnancy, and so many of them. So as a woman, always make sure you are having enough rest and enough sleep. Now, the fourth cause of hormonal imbalance to so many women is polycystic ovarian syndrome. A lot of women, in fact, millions of women are struggling from polycystic ovarian syndrome, and they might not know. But what I always advise women to do is when they are having hormonal imbalance, they should always go for scan, because this can show the presence of polycystic ovarian syndrome to so many women, and in that case you might be having a lot of irregularities in your hormonal settings. You might be having high production of prolactin, where you'll be producing breast milk, you'll be having skipped menses, painful menses, heavy flow, all because you're having polycystic ovarian syndrome, and this is one of the major cause of hormonal imbalance to so many women. Now, the last one that a lot of people don't even consider is overweight, obesity, because so many women are not fond of carrying out exercises, they are fond of taking too much calories, and because of that they might be obese due to the fact that they are having too much accumulation of fat in their system, and in that case you might have hormonal imbalance. So as a woman, always make sure you maintain a healthy weight. Now let's look at the natural ways to treat hormonal imbalance. What are those natural remedies for managing hormonal imbalance? This is the question that a lot of people have been asking every now and then. They want to know how to manage it naturally. In this video, we're going to also talk about the natural ways to manage it. And in case you have watched this video to this period, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be getting more amazing videos like this. And if you have questions about this particular topic you want to ask, please don't forget to drop it in the comment section, and I'll be right there to respond to you. Now let's start with the first thing you need to do when you are having hormonal imbalance. Now, the first thing you should do is to go for a test we call hormonal profile test. This particular test will tell you if the hormones in your body are either too high or too low. It will tell you if your body is producing the hormones the way they are supposed to be produced, and you will know the particular hormone that is having problem, because when you are having hormonal imbalance, it's not all the hormones in your body that are having problem. It is just one particular hormone or maybe two hormones that might be having problem, and in that case you can take medication for that particular two hormones that are having problem and you have a solution. But the mistake that a lot of women do is taking medications anyhow, taking plenty medications, and you might end up complicating things instead of finding solutions to yourself. Now, the third thing I will always recommend is adequate sleep and exercise. Mind you, I said when you don't carry out enough exercises, you don't carry out enough sleep, enough rest, you might have a high production of cortisol, and this particular cortisol is what can disrupt the production of so many hormones in your body. As a matter of fact, this high level of cortisol is one of the major things that have been making a lot of women to have hormonal imbalance, and they might not even know. Now, the fourth way you can manage hormonal imbalance naturally is to stop the regular use of post pills. For some women, post pill is now a regular and routine medication for them, but you don't even know the dangers behind taking post pills anyhow. Post pills are called emergency contraceptives, which means you should only take them when you forget to use your family or contraceptions. Now, what post pill does is they causes changes to your body hormones, and that's why you don't get pregnant when you take them. But once you are not taking them as routine medications, it means they can now start causing problem to your hormones, and that's why a lot of you that take post pills as routine medication, you take it every week, every month, anyhow, you keep having hormonal imbalance, you keep having painful menses, irregular menses, kiss menses, because you have taken medications that have changed the hormonal settings of your body. Now, the fifth way you can naturally manage hormonal imbalance is by taking fruits and vegetables. A lot of people undermine the strength of fruit and vegetables. Fruits contain nutrients, contain vitamins, minerals, and so many of them, and these are the key things that are responsible for producing hormones in your body. So as a woman, when you lack the intake of taking of fruits, vegetables, you are at risk of having hormonal imbalance, because that thing that is responsible for making hormones, for producing hormone in your body, will be absent, and in that case you might have hormonal imbalance. Now, the sixth way you can manage hormonal imbalance naturally is to avoid self-medication. Avoid self-medication, because a lot of you, when you are not having skid menses, you are having regular menses, you are having mood swing, you are having painful menses, all you know how to do is to go to pharmacy, go and get medications without doctor's prescription, without carrying out a lab test to know the particular hormone that is having problem. And that's why you end up having hormonal imbalance, and you'll be having complications from this just because you've not consulted a doctor, you've not done tests you're supposed to do to know the particular hormone that's having problem. So as a woman, when you are having hormonal imbalance, the first thing you should do is to go for hormonal profile test. Let them check you for the particular hormone that is having problem. Once they have noticed that particular hormone, you can take medication for that particular hormone. If it's estrogen that is having problem, there are medications for that. If it's progesterone, there are medications for that. If it's follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, all of them, they all have their medications. They have medications you can give when they are too high or when they are too low, and you can have that solution to the hormonal imbalance problem you have been having. So after watching this video, if you find it very helpful, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be getting more amazing videos like this every time and make an update. And don't forget to drop your questions in the comment section so I can be right there to respond to them as soon as possible. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.